The only access to the isolated logging camps of Alaska is by sea or air, making seaplanes the most common and fastest link with civilization. Stepping onto the dock at Zarembo Island, which is one of thousands that dot the southeast coast, is like stepping back hundreds of years into the pioneer days of America. Walking through camp, it is obvious the technology has changed over the years, but have the people? Are they still hardy adventurers working one-on-one with nature and sharing a culture that reminds of yesteryear?
I've done about everything in the woods at one time.
Oh, yeah? What brought you up into the woods in the first place?
Oh, I come up here in 1960. This outfit I was working for down home come up here right here at Rangoon. And I just decided to come up, and after I got up here, just like one Alaskan said, yeah, come up here for 1 year, it'd be hard to ever leave the country again. I guess that's about what it amounted to.
Oh, yeah.
It's steady work. It's when you come up here, you work 8 or 9 months. And then you're through. It's not hit and miss. It's you're either working or you're not.
So how would you say logging has changed over the last 100 years or so?
Well, I can't go back that far, but I can go back about 40 years. It's just the type of timber you got. You're logging a smaller timber that got down where they can utilize these different trees, different pulp markets and mills and stuff that's made them take it down smaller. See, you had different timber. You never packed it so far. You packed it from tree to tree, and then you was there for a while.
Due to changes in economics and transportation, large-scale logging camps have nearly become extinct these days in the lower 48 states, where communities have grown up around the wilderness areas, making those loggers daily commuters from their homes and families to the job sites. In Alaska, however, the tradition remains. Everett and Rose Tyler have owned and operated this seasonal camp of 200 inhabitants for over 14 years. While Everett spends most of his time supervising in the field, his wife, Rose, stays in the camp office.
Well, I am the head bookkeeper. And I more or less take care of camp. I mean, I do all the ordering for the cookhouse, the commissary, most of the ordering for all the equipment that goes in. Of course, every once in a while now I get the mechanics and I get the boss to come in and he does the ordering.
Right.
And I have to, once in a while, cook. winter time, when Everett and I are south, we interview a lot of people. And then we have a manpower center, what we call in Ketchikan, we call them, and we say, hey, we need so many experienced choker setters, or sometimes we have to take green men or men that are not experienced. A lot of times we take the people that come right into Wrangell and call up and say, hey, I'm here, could you use someone? A lot of the people come back every year, and then we usually get our first crew. Some of them last quite a while, some of them don't. The thing is, they find out with their wives in camp, the guys are more settled down and they'll work longer. And as you notice, we have 45 trailers here, and they're all loaded because they like their wives here and their family here.
Sure. So it seems to be a very happy camp here.
Yeah, you're close to everyone. That's the one. Well, you're just like brothers and sisters or something like this. You're really close. What hits one family hits everyone.
Of course, you always have the little fights, too, like any neighborhood would, but you do feel pretty close to everybody, and, you know, you can go to anybody's and visit and feel at home and borrow anytime you need things. You know, everybody kind of is like one big family. That's a good feeling, too.
And how long have you been up here?
I've been up here about a season and a half.
So do you plan on making this your life?
Yeah, pretty much so.
What about you'll never have your dream house? You'll always be traveling from camp to camp and all that, right?
No, I'll stick with Tyler's for as long as you're around. I'm not going to travel from camp to camp. It's a good life for a single guy, but not for a married guy, wouldn't do.
You can always fix up a pretty homey place here. Even though they're trailers, you know, if you put on a few wanigans and stuff. You can make your home.
Biggest hazard is it rain or wind, or how does that work as far as cutting, falling?
I think the biggest thing is lining your cuts up on your butt so your trees don't kick back off, and the stuff coming back from other trees. If you put one right directly into it, you'll snap the top and then it'll come back.
Oh, really?
The limbs will fly back. You want to keep looking up, you know, and you want to get it back away from your stump too, quicken it as far as you can.
Is there any special technique when you fall the log? I noticed they seem to be going sideways here.
For a yard, you put most of them across the hill. It's a lot easier for us, and it's easier for them too. You start running down a hill, and they're going to take off, shoot right way down. Try to miss the stumps. And you don't want to brush up your trees that you're coming up next to. As you fall them, you number the butts, and then you keep track of the length and the diameter of each log. Mark it on my hat, and then at night I do my scale off my hat. It makes it kind of convenient to have it on your hat too. You know, as much rain as you get and stuff, you can't carry a pad or anything if it's too wet.
Some people think of this as the grab the money and run situation. Which after the pipeline projects and stuff like that, that's how people come to think of a lot of people up here in Alaska. And other Alaskans think that way, but for a lot of us, this is home.
This is home. How do you feel about the fact that the restrictions on much of the land up here and the idea that the environmentalists think that you people are upsetting the whole balance of nature?
Well, I don't like being viewed as a butcher.
Right.
Wood butchers.
Just the assumption that the two can't go together is where everything falls down there. There's a lot of area up here. It's a vast area, and I think that there can be the timber industry and wilderness areas and parks can get along fine side by side. And there's as much area as there is up here. I think it's possible. There's certainly a need for parks and wilderness area and stuff like that. But
it's a way of making a living. That's what it is, really.
Like I was saying before, we are concerned, and a lot of people are up here are concerned about the land issues and stuff like that.
No, I think they ought to do away with them environmentalists.
Oh, yeah.
Or at least bring them out here and show them. We can look at that stump down there, how rotten it is.
Most people don't realize a tree has a lifespan. Some trees live 400 or 500 years old. Some trees live 80 years old. Down south, Loblolly Pond has a short lifespan of about 100 years old. A lot of people get surprised about that. Trees grow up and die and start decaying just like people do, and susceptible to diseases, rot. You know, a lot of these trees, a tree like that with all that rot in there lives about 10 or 12 feet before they get into good timber. Most of it has to go to chips or sawdust.
So how long will it take for this forest out here to regenerate from...
Oh, I don't know about this up here. That's just going to take longer up here because of the colder climate. But I'm from Oregon, and I know a lot of that IP's got down there. They figure every 40 years they're going to take it off.
No kidding.
And then right where I live, they figure every 60 years they're going to want to take it off.
With 100% natural reproduction in Alaska, it is not necessary to plant new trees. There are, however, many ecological limitations since most of the land is federally owned.
Environmentalists have been very strongly concerned about how this particular area is managed, and therefore they have brought a great deal of pressure to bear to make sure that enough of the environment is being utilized for the management of fish and game and scenic resources and pure preservation. And we in turn feel that a number of multiple uses can exist on each acre of land.
It's hard to believe this vast area of natural resources was ridiculed as Seward's Folly or Seward's Icebox for many years after Secretary of State William Seward purchased Alaska from Russia in 1867 for $7.2 million, or less than 2 cents an acre. Choker setters fasten each cable to a log, then signal by remote-controlled beeper to the yard operator. He runs the high lead yarder, which hauls the sections of timber to a truck landing. With the aid of modern equipment, today's logger can double the production of his ancestors. Still, there is nothing like human legs and arms for climbing through thick forests and leading the way for highly sophisticated machinery. So you do this 9 hours a day, 6 days a week. Must get you a little tired every now and then, huh?
Every hour since I started, I'll be real tired now.
What'd you do before this?
Well, I was planting trees last.
Whereabouts?
Down south. Well, last job was right next to St. Helens.
Oh, really?
Yeah, ended up due to volcanic eruption.
Ended up blowing on Sunday, so.
Yeah, May 18th, yeah.
Huh. So if it had blown on Monday, you'd have been there.
We were there. We worked on Sunday. We were on the south side, though. If it was a Monday, we would have been on the northwest side, and we wouldn't have had a chance then.
It requires great strength and conditioning to work in the woods day after day, and not everyone can endure the rigorous pace.
track, but I've never logged like, you know, this is that track.
All right, what's different about this?
You know, high lead.
Just the
tower and
whole log,
shit.
the whole technique, basically.
Yeah, the whole logging is a little bit different.
Uh-huh.
From the style I was doing.
So what do you think? You guys think you'll make it?
I don't know.
How long did it take you to, to tell, really, when you see a new guy come on the job?
1 day.
1 day. Really?
Usually.
Just by the way they hustle, or?
Yeah, if they're putting out effort or what, you can usually tell. Sometimes it just depends.
It used to be I wouldn't work with young guys that couldn't put out.
Really? You bet.
I just,
They
it'd
put out their
too much
part.
work off on one man. You'd heck with that bunch or move on to another job where you could work with a man.
Everett Tyler has hired all kinds of employees over the years. And although he has seen many come and go, he has definite ideas regarding the best potential loggers.
That's a young person's job, really.
Yeah.
Except perhaps for management.
Right.
Yeah. And a lot of them come up here to make money to go to school.
So how's the turnover here?
Fast.
Is it? What do you think the reason for that is?
The woods. A lot of them are city slickers that come to the woods and make big money and just can't handle it.
Not kidding. How come? They're not
Well,
straight?
used to running on the fields too much, I guess.
Oh, really? So they're not really in shape to do it, or they're just...
Yeah, or just come here for a couple days and a lot of logging trains and stuff. Just people coming in and get a few bucks and splitting.
So I understand you were doing some tramping in your early days.
Yeah.
What's tramping?
Well, just going from one camp to another, just seeing which one's the best, and
Are there many tramps left out there?
no, the tramps are slowly fading away. There's a few left, like Fudge.
Like Fudge, yeah.
I don't think it's the work as much as the way of life I like.
Yeah.
You know, there aren't that many things where you can have that independence anymore, where you can just work a job and things aren't the way you want them. You can just say screw it and go down the road and know you got another job to go to. Not have to worry about getting broke.
Right.
And there's a certain comradeship.
They always had tramp loggers.
Yeah.
And some of them are the best.
Tramps.
Yeah.
Hard workers.
Yeah, you betcha. They know their business. They've been around and learned it from everybody.
Lots of times they're the best loggers because you don't go to school to learn to log. You know? And the more places, everywhere you go, they do things different. And the more places you hit, the more you learn.
The more experience.
But it's getting to where big companies and the unions they're kind of phasing the whole tramping way out. They're trying to.
They usually are real good workers, and it pays to have them, but they'll only come in and stay a little while, and then they go.
Must make it kind of tough when people are moving around out here.
Well, you can't fault a guy for that. In particular, if you've been one yourself at one time.
That's why you started out?
After they've been here so long, well, hell, they want to go spend that money.
Right.
And when they're broke, come back, they're hell of a bully.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they stick right there.
That's definitely about it, huh?
And as long as a guy doesn't do me a dirty when he leaves, he's welcome to come back. He's a good man.
I'd like to stay here another month, just so I can get a stake together, a little cushion for the winter.
Yeah.
You know, to get me started. But I could be gone tomorrow.
Turned the highway wide when I was a kid, dreaming of the long white line was all that I did. Oh, a man behind the wheel ain't a man on the skids.
logger. My whole family's in logging.
I understand your grandfather's a logger here.
Yeah, he's been here this season, all season. I didn't even know he was here when I came here. It was kind of a shock to find him here.
No kidding.
Yeah, pretty nice. A lot of family working here. I'll bring my wife up next year, though. I won't come by myself.
And a kid maybe, too, huh?
Yeah, two of them.
Two of them?
Yeah.
You get twins?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that'll be kind of fun for them. Your kids gonna grow up to be loggers, too, you think?
I don't know.
You don't know? What do you want to be when you grow up?
I haven't decided yet.
You haven't?
Either a fisherman or... There's lots of things I'd like to be.
There's 24 at school this year, from kindergarten up through high school. It's quite a handful, considering they got all the grades.
Yeah, really.
Just that many of them. I think that's why they have to be a lot stricter with them and stuff.
The children in this one-room schoolhouse are educated by a husband and wife team, assuring individualized attention for each student.
I've taught in Alaska for about 18 years, all small communities, Eskimo villages, Indian villages, all over the state. We're able to give them a lot more individualized help than anywhere else, and I feel I can do a better job of teaching in a small school like this. We are offering Spanish this year, second-year Spanish. So it's a matter of what the teacher can teach, I guess, in the logging camps. I'd have to be able to teach Spanish.
Oh, you speak Spanish yourself,
yes.
So I see. Now, what if someone wanted to learn French? How would you...
Well, I speak French, too.
Oh, really? So you're a good man to have in school.
It just happens that way, but it's very difficult. We're having to teach all subjects to all kids in high school. And I'm not able to teach, for example, biology very well, so I have to more or less just keep ahead of the kids on that. But we're doing the best we can.
Oh, it's so strange being on an island.
Yeah. How do you like it?
I don't.
Really? Why not?
No, I'm in my friends, horses.
Horses?
Sports.
Yeah, there's not that many activities up there. And dances and the guys and all the rest of it, huh? So when you grow up, you're going to be a logger, too? You are? Okay.
Maybe I'll miss out on that.
You're not going to miss out on that? Pretty happy up here. You want to marry a logger someday? Do you feel like you're missing some of the activities down there, or?
Sometimes, but I'm really glad that I'm up here because down there there's a lot of TV and stuff and drugs, and I don't really want that.
We have very little discipline problems because no one can get away with anything in a logging camp.
Right. Working outside in the clean, fresh air can be very invigorating, but it can also be very hazardous. Loud machinery and obstructed views make it difficult for a heavy equipment operator to keep track of the men working around him. Flying cables, powerful chainsaws, and razor-sharp axes demand undivided attention. Any letdown could result in a fatality.
When we're not cutting down the trees, I climb up and take the stuff out, and like I just did, I carry all the smaller blocks. He carries the bigger ones there.
Anybody ever get hit by one of those?
Yeah, lots of guys have.
Does it kill them, or?
Cuts them in half. If it hits their arm's gone. It's not cut off.
Pretty rough life out here, isn't it?
Leave something that could be a lot easier.
I've been very fortunate. I haven't had anything. You get plenty of bumps and bruises and scrapes and stuff, but I haven't been cut through or anything. But most of the guys do. They
one time or another, huh?
Usually once a year at least they're in to get stitched up or something, if not worse.
Really?
Once I had a very close call with a fellow, and apparently he thought that I was going to move away, and I thought he was going to stay away until I got out of there, see? And so I just dropped that one log and picked up another log that had been limbed to bring back out of the way. And as I did, it put another log in motion, and it rolled toward him, and he started kind of crow-hopping sideways, and the log moved faster than he did. And it rolled and knocked him off balance and rolled upon his leg. Just so happened, as it was rolling upon his leg, it kind of rolled on a chunk. He couldn't get up until I came back and picked the log up. Didn't break nothing or anything.
Ooh, that's pretty close, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Violent weather adds another treacherous dimension to the working conditions. Rain and wind impair vision, hearing, and mobility, besides sending a constant chill throughout the body.
So, what's the biggest danger out here?
A lot of guys get hit by, like logs jolt poking, where they'll come into a stump, and they'll flip around at you.
Oh, yeah?
Some people get hit by those lines, you get underneath the line, or a lot of guys get like little saplings. They might hit you off and leave little saplings up, and log will hit one and
I'm flying by.
Lots of times, like downhill logging like this, where you get hurt, is like the lines are down now, and when they pick them up again, if you're not watching up above you, sometimes they'll pick up a log, go underneath one, like they'll run down the hill. Yeah, I have a good friend last year got hit like that with a chunk. Had his back broken and his spine separated about that far. People think that you get hit by trees coming back on you and stuff, but you go to wedge one over, and there might be a limb in there that's just ready, like an old rotten limb, or it might have a rotten top. And when you're wedging that tree, or cutting on it, it'll fall back and get a guy. Widowmakers, they call it.
Widowmaker?
Yeah, that's what they call, like when the lines pick up a chunk or something too. That's a widowmaker. Somebody will yell for you. Watch.
That's it.
Watch for a widowmaker.
The first thing we ask is who it is, how serious is it, get all the information we can. Then we call the flying services. We say, well, we have a man, they will be at Roosevelt Harbor, or else they'll be here at camp in a certain length of time, and how bad he is injured. And most generally, the plane is waiting before we get a man out of the woods.
No kidding.
We just about haul everything from emergency stretcher patients, parts, groceries, specialty items of maybe medicines, even babies, lots of times. Different things along that line, but it is a bush pilot in Southeast. Basically, he gets up every morning and he has probably many duties. It may vary from just hauling freight to moving people from one camp to another camp. The ladies may decide on Tuesday that 3 or 4 need to go to town and do their shopping. The flying part of it is a learner's trade in this particular area. It's very hard and difficult to learn it from books or from a school. There just isn't any in it.
Every day is a different situation?
You bet. It's experiment every day until the person becomes very familiar with our weather conditions and the types of emergencies that might arise. Most of my flying's all been what we call VFR, visual flying. There is no radar capabilities or help, I should say, in Southeast Alaska.
Really?
And very little instrument flying, and in our particular situation with the float planes. There's no instrument flying at all. Poor visibility is probably our greatest hazard, and possibly I would say it was the greatest killer of pilots in Southeast, is the poor visibility factor.
The Air Services called out and says, "Hey Rose, have you heard a plane? It's a twin engine." And I said, "No, I haven't." Of course, with the noise and everything. And they told us that the tail had come off, and the last they heard, the fellow say, "This is it, babe."
Wow.
And they had people looking for them. They never found any trace of them. They don't know where they are. Just
nothing. Wow.
Disintegrated.
With so much dependence on the heavy-duty equipment, it is crucial that any breakdowns be repaired immediately, or production would come to a standstill. Mechanics work 24 hours, guaranteeing that all machinery is in sound working condition, especially the diesel trucks that carry tons of logs over steep, narrow grades. So how long have you been logging?
This makes 14 years for dollars.
Wow. You drive a truck?
Yeah, drive a log truck.
Uh-huh. How far back up do you have to go?
For driving?
Yeah.
Oh, we go across the island over about 20 miles and then haul them over there, haul them about 8 miles, I guess, haul 10.
Road construction is the first concern of any logging operation. The gravel roads are dynamited from rock deposits on the island and cost approximately $140,000 per mile.
This ground here, this mud's a lot different than down south. It's a lot softer, and it's faults, real faults. You get one of these 10 wides off the side of the road on the shoulder a little bit, and it'll suck trailer and truck right in, just suck the wheels right off the road and turn you over.
Right over.
Yeah, they've had it happen several times this year here already.
Really?
Yeah. Trucks down south don't have bunks that are 10 feet wide like these, or 12 feet. They're only 8 feet wide. These bunks here are 10.5 footers. They put about 125,000, 150,000 pounds worth of wood on you, about 75 tons.
All day, trucks roll into Roosevelt Harbor, otherwise known as the dump, a point where the logs are bundled and branded, then dumped into the North Pacific Ocean. Once in the water, the bundles are tied off in groups. This is the last stop before being towed to the mill by tugboat, a distance of up to 500 miles in some areas. It is still basically a man's world when it comes to logging. Therefore, many of the men are away from their wives or girlfriends for months at a time. Beside the demanding working conditions, there are other reasons women don't migrate to the remote camps.
So how come you don't bring your wife up here to... She was. That's trouble with being a logger, I think.
Oh, yeah?
Working in the camps, eh?
Working in the camps and stuff.
Do you think women belong in the camp?
Well, they could if they could handle the seclusion. But I never seen one that could.
My aunt and uncle lived up here, and they wrote and asked me if I wanted a job.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
So you came up, how many years ago was that?
About 6 years ago.
Oh, I see. So you both came to camp more or less at the same time?
Yeah.
Pretty close.
Uh-huh. What time do you get up in the morning to go cook over there?
About 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God. And breakfast is served at 5:30? Or is it 6, I guess?
6.
6.
Yeah.
So you're there 3 hours before?
Well, it takes me a half hour to get my eyes open and get over there.
All right. Breakfast and dinner are served in the mess hall. Lunch is spread out on a spike table in the morning, so each man can make his own meal before leaving for the woods. These women are of utmost importance in providing a well-balanced diet. Most of the other women in camp are busy raising families. Occasionally, they get together and journey into town for supplies. Since fishing is one of the favorite pastimes here, many of the islanders own boats. This enables them to cruise through the inland passage to Wrangell, a town of 2,000. Sunny or cloudy, it's a refreshing change of pace for the gals to leave the island behind for a few hours and spend the day shopping. But there is more to do in the small towns than shop, especially on Saturday night. How much money can you spend on a night in town?
If you go for it all, you could spend 2,000 or 3,000, but after you get drunk, it don't matter.
Yeah.
You spend a lot.
This is what you do on your day off, huh?
Oh, yeah. About all there is to do out here.
Oh, really? How long did it take you to land something like that?
Well, probably took us about 20 minutes.
Really? So is this going to be dinner for everybody tonight?
Yeah, probably will.
Yeah?
One of those little ones will make pretty good dinner.
Fishing and hunting are the main recreational activities. Since there is no television reception, some families have video recorders and circulate tapes from camp to camp. But there are other alternatives that provide news and entertainment. What's it like living in a home with no TV, no telephone, no newspaper every morning? Is it...
Do a lot of reading.
Do you really?
Uh-huh.
Bookstores, good bookstores are few and far between up here. I went all the way up to Juneau during the 4th just so I could store up on books.
The only news we really get is some newspapers we get sent out from down south, and then Wrangell's got a radio station or some kind of a relay or something, and we can listen to the news and see what's happening.
Left a good job in the city, working for a man every night and day, but I never lost 1 minute of sleeping, worrying about the way things might have been. Big wheels keep on turning, yeah, proud Mary keep on burning, rolling, rolling, rolling on a river. You come down to the river.
It takes a certain type of person to live in a logging camp, but especially those who reside in the bunkhouses. They do not have the privacy of their own quarters like the family men. These guys not only bunk together, they work all day together, drive to and from work together, eat together, go to town together, and relax together.
Rolling, rolling on a river. I cleaned a lot of places.
They perform like an athletic team, and each group has its leaders, both morally and professionally. Close communication and a good rapport among the loggers is of major importance, since they are interdependent on each other in so many ways.
Keep on turning, yeah, proud Mary keep on burning. Rolling, rolling, rolling on a river. First verse.
Coexistence is all part of the lifestyle, and since every person needs his space, there is a real sense of respect for one another. That is probably the most unique aspect of this culture. People living a life of harmony, with mutual respect for the other guy. People with their own responsibilities, who pull their own weight. People earning an honest living and carrying on the traditions that made America the great country it is.
Rolling, rolling, rolling on a river.
the first thing you do when you get out of this place? When you hit town? What is
Head
it
home.
Head right home. Immediately. You don't stop anywhere. That's it. Just boom.
I ain't going. Head straight home.
How about yourself?
I'm going to town to get drunk.
What do you think you'll be doing in 20 years from today?
I hope that we're living in a log house in Oregon.
Really? So how long you intend on logging? You gonna?
Oh, another 4 or 5 years maybe.
Uh-huh. And then what'll you do?
Probably fish or something.
I always got these plans. Every year I say I'm not going to be set jokers in that damn snow. But it seems like every year I make a liar out of myself.
Boarding the plane, it is clear there are many aspects of an Alaskan logging camp that reflect the past. But in reality, the state motto says it all. North to the future.